Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal Fan Circle. Pull up a chair. You're all any kind of chair. You're all welcome here. So pull your chair up to the counter. Join the circle. Welcome to the Sunday show. Slightly delayed, slightly deferred podcast because I thought, Tony, we'd go live after the Manchester City hosting Chelsea game. We get a full overview of the whole weekend of results. Well, nice little Philip at the end. Don't call me Philip, says Tony. Nice little Philip at the end. Chelsea equalized. It's finished at the Etihad. 1. Manchester City 1. Chelsea 1. With Enzo Fernandez getting a goal, I think, in 93rd, 94th minute. There was that momentary worry about an offside. Equalizing, I think it's Reinder's goal to start the game. But when all's said and done, Tony, and all the dust is settled from this weekend after 20 rounds of football having played weekends, midweeks, Arsenal have extended their 4 point gap from yesterday, overnight, to a 6 point lead now, Tony. We have got 6 points over City, who just shaded on goal difference in second place over Aston Villa. So, what say you, Tony? Welcome.
Still plenty of football to play.
Still plenty of football to be played, but today, January 4th, have a smile on your face, Arsenal fans. All the Gooners worldwide, Riddy's in the house, whoever, BX Gunner will join us, Stephen may join us. The usual crew will get in here. Buoyed by the result at the Etihad, combined with a reversal of our fortunes at Bournemouth last season, winning 3-2 at Bournemouth. So, yeah, still a long way to go, Tony.
Can we play which Gabriel has more Premier League goals?
We can certainly do that. Gabriel we know our own Gabby, our central defender, has more goals than some strikers. Our central defender has more goals this season than some strikers. I don't know what he's on this season so far, Tony. You can tell me. But he's on what, 20?
That
His
was on
career.
4 and 20 in total, and that's
He's
two
on.
behind.
Gabriel
Two.
Magalhaes is on 4 goals this season already.
Yeah.
With how many games out has been injured? He's been out a long time. Quite a few games.
Like 14 starts or whatever it was.
Yeah, really, indeed. Happy New Year, evening to you. I hope you are doing well. Listen, can't be anything but excited about watching Manchester City team hold on to a 1-0 lead, but then lose it right at the end, like in such a manner. You're thinking as the minutes are ticking by, well, Man City have, got in the 3 points that they need today, but no. Lo and behold, they spurned some chances. Erling Haaland hit the upright. It was one of those nice. I know you didn't see the game, Tony. So Erling Haaland stepped in on his left foot, curled the ball right onto the left upright, and it was one of those that hit the bar, hit the upright, and went at probably a 15 or 20-degree angle the right side of the goal for us. So another inch or two, and that would have been in. So these are the fine margins each and every week. It used to be Arsenal that would be struggling 4 points behind and have needing to win. City would win their game, be 7 points ahead. Used to be Arsenal that was needing to close those points up, and Man City, they felt the pressure today. And Tony, I know you didn't see the scenes afterwards. You didn't see the Manchester City players, but some of them, like Rodri, were shaking their head like we've just dropped a massive 2 points here. You know,
Yeah, not happened to you.
it's going to happen in the swings and roundabouts of the Premier League. I already said 6 points is a healthy cushion, but no respite. We must beat Liverpool. The other thing, really, is the narrative will be now that Arsenal has to go on and finally take that final step on the podium, Tony. You know, with
Yeah,
6 point lead in January.
definitely gotta finish out January or have a strong January. We generally haven't done that. So,
Yeah. Now, I'll go
well,
through.
actually, we've only done that once. We've had a good second half of the year.
Yeah, I think we won like 4 games or 5 games in a row now. We strung 5 games together, a five
Yeah.
winning streak. Going back to how wobbly we were against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Everton. We needed a penalty to beat Everton. Um, Brighton, we were hanging on a little bit against Brighton, although that was comfortable in the end. And then we had a coming out party in Aston Villa when we played at home to Aston Villa last Tuesday. Um,
And they won 12 of their last 13.
what's that?
So they won 12 of their last 13.
Yes, yes, or something like 18 of the last 20, if you want to go back a little bit further. So Aston Villa definitely. If you're going to say the Man City are still in the title race, you have to say Aston Villa are still in the title race, and I think they have the best home record across um, the five biggest European leagues. I think they have the best home record. Aston Villa have. Yeah, they're beating Aston Villa. They're beating Arsenal. Aston Villa have, and they're beating City there. So, but it's how they fare in other venues as well. Yes, Michael. Great weekend for the Arsenal. Listen, we still would have been here, and we're going to talk about the Bournemouth game, but we still would have been here today talking about the Bournemouth game and thinking that we passed another test away to Bournemouth and maintaining a 4 point gap. I actually set up the podcast here with 4 points.
Barely passed the test.
Well, barely passed the test, but last time I checked, Tony, three was a bigger number than two. Whenever you're playing war cards and
Yeah,
you have a
it's always
three
nice to
ability
give
that
a
a number
13, but
a deuce can. There's always possibility a deuce can come out of the pack as well. So three always beats a deuce, a number two anyway. Uh, Opening the door to number two jokes. We didn't play great, did we? Um, we'll get into the Bournemouth game, but let's get into the Bournemouth game now. We can talk a bit more. People will come in and talk about this City result and how great that is. But Tony, we anytime you go away from home, you're gonna expect to maybe lose one goal, right? And this Arsenal team has generally not lost more than one goal or conceded one goal when they go away from home. And sometimes that goal can be a wonder goal, such as the second goal that was scored against us. A great hit from Bournemouth, yes, preventable. You could have your defensive midfielder pressurizing that shot, or you could concede a goal from a sloppy mistake. Wow. Let's get into the sloppy mistake, Tony.
I, I I still really don't know what happened there. He just miskicked it.
Yeah, I think I had Graham Lascelles, who was the commentary, alongside someone else, the main commentary, and Graham Lascelles could not hide his bias against Arsenal. It's understandable. This Arsenal team a generation ago um, beat up on Chelsea a lot, but my feeling is that Gabriel was trying to lift the ball over the head of Evan Nielsen to either Saliba or Timber in the right back position. So, what were your thoughts on what he did there?
I just really couldn't tell.
It
It's
was
like at
kind of
first, it's like at first they said that he didn't see the defender, but he obviously seen where he was.
And
I just,
and Tony, we're obviously smiling about this because we've won the game 3-2. We've got 3 points at Bournemouth despite that mistake. Years gone by, past 10 years by has gone past. That would be a Gabriel mistake that maybe we would recover one goal and maybe get a draw from that, and we'd watch City win on the Sunday. Well, the script has kind of flipped now. This Arsenal team is made of stronger stuff, and we had the fortitude to go on and win the game in the end of the day. Um,
Gabriel went and had his own nice strike 5 minutes later.
yes, he atoned for it a little bit later. I want to speak a couple of things on the first goal now that we're sitting pretty 6 points ahead of Man City. We can dissect this Bournemouth game. What was David Raya doing? Because I partly blame David Raya. Okay, defender's going to make a mistake. Our intent to build out from the back is always going to yield a mistake of this kind. You know.
Yeah, but we were just giving the ball away left and right in vulnerable positions the entire first half,
Yes, agreed.
and it was all from playing out from the back. It's like I liked it. I liked the game where they said it was strategically we were doing a long balls. I just don't know why you can't do them all the time because most of the time you're gonna win the header, then you're gonna get the rebound off the header. It's just like Only time I think you should be playing out from the back is if it's the easy one that the goalkeeper picks up and just rolls it out and onward you go. But I don't like the playing out from the back, and the guys definitely weren't focused to have that many.
It's it's
There's like
definitely, but that's
four or
modern
five,
football. You know.
four or five giveaways. Yeah, just I don't know.
Yeah, as Reddy
I
said. Put your
I
comments
played
in.
out from the back in FIFA, but that's totally different because I try to
Yeah.
score like 12
Reddy
goals.
said. Reddy's first half we were so below par. Second half we stepped it up a bit, and I think Mikel Arteta's earning his corn at halftime. In the halftime breaks, he's making adjustments, right? Um,
Yeah,
so Michael said, "I don't think Zubimendi's been great." Yeah, listen.
I thought he's been really good, but
I thought he's been decent. So he has been, he got booked in the first half for what was most players kick a ball against the advertising hoardings. He didn't kick the ball away. The referee was a little bit patchy in the way he addressed some of the challenges and managed the game. Late in the game, we see Gabriel Jesus getting tackled and his leg is being pulled. No yellow card there. So I thought Subamendi played quite well. It kept the game moving, and I think Rice has said that he's developing a good partnership in midfield with Zubimendi, and it does seem to be at times more of a 4-2-3-1 formation where Rice will drop into midfield as well, and Odegaard will be that creative outlet ahead of him. Michael said Rice needs a good partner in midfield, and maybe that could be, if not this window, it could be something we look at in the summer. You know, getting another outstanding midfield partner to go along with Rice and Zubimendi. We're asking at this point in time, Tony. I think we're asking both Rice and Zubimendi to play the majority of the games, and the further we go in competitions, the more games we're going to acquire. The more fixtures we're going to have to fulfill.
and go on that. When Larry, for some reason, wasn't on the team sheet. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's ever been cleared up why he wasn't on there.
I
He's
just
gone
think. I
out
mean,
on loan, or
no, I just think that we've gotten a few players back from injury have come back in. Obviously, Gabriel has come back in. Gabriel Magalhaes in the last couple of games. Um, We have Ben White, we have Miles Lewis, Skelly, Norgard, Trossard, Jesus, Eze, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's what I don't understand. It's like you can play as a with Rice, you should
I
be
will tell
fine.
you, I was disappointed when the substitutions came and we saw Mikel Marino one more time in midfield. And I've said, and Stan has said in particular, like just when Mikel seems to put a little bit more respect on his namesake, gives him a little bit more of a priority over Eze. Um, and I think I saw something, Tony, about recently when we lost the first goal at Aston Villa. Eze was the guy holding the can, you know what I mean, at the back post when Matty Cash crashed in there. And some people are trying to say that Mikel Arteta is, setting some sort of a lesson for Eberiche Eze.
I don't know. He's played him haphazardly throughout the season. He hasn't really played him that much.
Yeah. And the other thing that Arteta, when he was asked about Eze, and he's been asked about the players that he's not been playing as frequently, he's asked about Eze, and he said Eze has played something like 25, 23 of the last 25 games. I assumed he's going back into like the run that Crystal Palace had in the spring as well when he was with Crystal Palace. He played virtually every game with Crystal Palace, and Mikel Arteta is trying to make the case that he should and does need a rest now and again. Now I'm fine with that, Tony, as long as like Eze gets some minutes and we find a way to get him back into the team. But
I
he,
mean, it took him forever to get started, and what was weird was him saying that he needed to work on his fitness before he started playing this season. It's like you just played in the League
now
Cup and stuff, and
I know,
just
and I know Odegaard's been playing well. He created assist again or a pre-assist for the one of the moves that Declan Rice scored upon. But we need to find a way to get Eze into the team. As we said now in January, just keep winning in January, right, Tony? But we
yeah.
have we have big games coming up, right? We've got Liverpool coming in on Thursday to the Emirates in the Premier League, and then we get into two games that are basically cup games. The FA Cup will have huge rotation next Sunday. um, we should be able to weaken the team and still beat Portsmouth. But that's always tricky, right? You gotta keep the team ticking over. And then the Wednesday after that, we got away to Chelsea in the first leg of the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup. And then middle of the month, we go back to a game away from home at Nottingham Forest, who are struggling in the relegation zone right now. Champions League on the 20th with Inter Milan. We're in a good position in the Champions League where maybe we could dial it back a little bit in terms of the team selection. Um, then always around my birthday, Tony. January 23rd is my birthday, but always seems to be a fixture with Manchester United. Now, I don't hate that because I do like to beat Manchester United. To me, they're our main rivals. You might say Tottenham, or that team, as Gary would say. But Man United are the team that I like to beat up on. Then at the end of the month, we have Leeds away from home. Mr. Tom's feeling pretty good about Leeds right now. And we finish at with a second leg. The first game in February is the second leg
Oh,
against
some of you
Chelsea.
finish out with the second legs. Some of us don't.
Some of us don't. Some of us stay with the one leg. Now, the one leg could be, uh, a wooden fixture, a type of a wooden. That was a deadwood game. You know what I mean? That's what they'd say.
I cannot do a two-footed challenge.
You do not do two-footed challenges, but you can take one off and throw it. If a guy gets past you, you could throw you could throw a leg throw a leg at him, Tony. Fair
Hope,
play to you, man. Fair
just
play to
hope that he falls down.
you. and he balls out. You could throw a leg at him and he balls out. Okay. Uh, all right, AFC Reds. Riddy said that Gabriel pass was intended for Raya, but Gabriel made a mess of it.
I don't think it was correct.
Now, was it down to a bit of rust? Gabriel Magalhaes coming back and being a little bit rusty. I think it was just his second game back from injury.
Yeah, it's just the second game back. He's had 2.5 games. I don't know. You never know because they run those damn sprinklers fucking like 30 seconds before the kickoff. I don't get why they do that.
What's the sprinklers got to do with this? The home team
Yeah,
wants to have a pitch that they can zip the ball around on. So
yeah, but
here's the thing: when you're the
they
home
might have
team,
messed with
Tony.
his footing, right?
But Tony, there's a couple of things you can do when you're the home team. We saw it maybe a month ago. Was it Everton? Everton brought the hoardings closer, the advertising hoardings closer, because Sunderland had done that to us, and people and Everton felt they would gain an edge out of that.
Uh,
I've seen games in the summertime for FA Cup games when it's really warm that they turn up the heating in the dressing rooms as well. You know what I mean? And this is just another angle. The home team wants to have a pitch that they can zip the ball. They like to play football, right? So if they put the sprinklers on, it's because that manager has said this is our home pitch, and we're going to hopefully tilt the conditions in our direction. You know,
yeah, but like I said, the water could have messed with his footing there.
it could mess with the footing if you don't have your stud length correct. You know, and right. We've seen players change boots all the time because of that as well. You know, Michael, you're right. A lot of games coming. Here we are at the beginning of January. So let's say we got 27 days. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We've got 7 games in 27 days. So we're basically going um, Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday for the next sequence of games. So a lot to talk about as the podcasts come down thick and fast here. Get your comments in on the game and your thoughts for this weekend, everybody. All big games now. Yeah. When you have a chance, Michael, to double down on Manchester City and create a pressure cooker. I mean, they've dropped points now to Sunderland at home, 2 home games. No, they went away to Sunderland and got a draw and couldn't get the win. Haaland had a great chance against Sunderland as well. Hits it straight at the goalkeeper. We're developing the pressure now where these players know they have to score maybe 2 goals. Manchester City have to score 2 goals. Erling Haaland's missed that chance up at Sunderland, and he hit the upright today. So Erling Haaland is thinking in the last week, I could have had 2 goals and it would have given City 4 more points and be a lot closer to Arsenal. Right. The league all over the place. Yeah, I think you're definitely right there, Michael. The league is all over the place. Hard to predict games. Um, Sometimes I don't love Mikel Arteta's approach, which is seen as a cautious approach. So with 10 minutes to go, I'm saying bring Eberechi Eze on because the game is 3-2. There's 2 ways to look at this, Tony. The game is at 3-2, right? What do? You lock it down or you bring a player on to kill it off?
And I'm always looking to kill her off. It's like you already have the defenders. Come on, you have the
Yeah.
best defense in the league. Why do you need to
So,
bring on more defenders?
admittedly, when Mikel Moreno comes on, he's going to give you that a little bit more with with a chance of a goal. Eberechi Eze is going to give you good midfield play. It's not on him to defend. but he could give you a lot more going forward. So your substitutions tell you a lot about who you are, and the person who's making the substitutions is Mikel Arteta, and he makes sometimes cautious substitutions. I did like the flex of strength, show of strength, where we took off our whole front line in the 66th minute. Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Madueke all come off. All a triple substitution. All of them come off, and Trossard, Jesus, and Saka come on. And
I
we got
I,
the.
I would have went for the double and then the triple.
You would have went for the double.
Yep. I would have kept Gutierrez on there because he was making good runs. Nobody was
Yes,
finding him. You
I
bring
agree.
on Tassard,
I agree.
Tassard can find him. Same with Saka.
We'll talk about Victor Gyökeres. 11 people in the house. Thanks for all joining us today. Tell us who you are, where you're coming from. Punch the ticket, grab a seat, pull up a chair. Tell us your thoughts about this weekend. A good weekend for Arsenal.
Tony from Oklahoma and Ray from Ireland.
Already, it would have been a good weekend because Arsenal beat Bournemouth. But let's double down and make Pep cry and make Erling
Ray
Haaland
from the
cry
leprechaun part
and
of
Rodri
Ireland.
Rodri cry indeed. The league's all over the place, hard to predict games. So that's a little bit why Mikel Arteta's been cautious this season. Uh,
He's always cautious, Ray.
Imagine if we'd have gone for it full pelt against Liverpool, we might have gotten something out of that game. A couple of other draws, Sunderland and Aston Villa as well. Good on Wolves and Palace playing terrible. BX Gunner in the house. We had a delayed start today, BX Gunner, but thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. Um, waiting on Chelsea to do something against City, and they did. They got a late goal with a momentary caution of are they going to try and find a line somewhere to justify scratching off a goal. So, yes, definitely what a fabulous weekend of results. And let's do what they're all doing now. 3 points. Let's pocket the 3 points, Tony. Right there.
And this was they're playing better.
Michael said a lot of new players at City, and they aren't used to winning. Our squad has been there with the pressure past 4 seasons. There's a couple of
Okay.
quality players like Cherky and Reinders who've come in. They have that
But
quality,
but
but maybe they do need to navigate the Premier League a little bit. It is a new animal,
but, but to be you're
Maybe it's the
playing a
City. This is the City. The tears. Let's put the Man City tears right here, right here. Put those Man City tears. If you know any Man City fans, let them have it. Maybe it's the
but
City
but
bottle that's come early. Um,
but if you're top of the league and you're playing a team that's got five points in their last 10 games, you should do better than 32.
so, like I said, in any game of football, that you could have a wonder goal. The guy scored. You have to hold your hand up and said the second Bournemouth goal was a good goal, well taken. And these are the things that Arsenal are conceding. Like what we shouldn't have done, our XG
Yeah,
should not have
in
given
the
us
first half,
a Gabriel mistake, at the back.
yeah, but there were tons of those mistakes. They had 5 or 6 good chances in the first half to score a goal.
We would deserve an easy closing season if we can get a good lead over City. Yeah, just keep going. That's. I mean, I think that's the mentality, Michael and Tony and everyone in the chat. I think that's the mentality of this Arsenal team now. Just as Gary would
They
say, just the next game, Tony. Just the next game is what we need to worry about. You know.
Are you sure that Emery's boys aren't the ones we need to be worrying about, right?
Emery,
Yep.
who should we be worried about? Nobody, Tony.
Villa. The,
Huh?
the Villa's who we should be worried about.
Villas, well, yeah, they've been very, very consistent. That's why that win was very important on Tuesday. And we didn't just beat them; we we beat them emphatically. You know what I mean? Retroholic gamer. If Arsenal win the league, I'm going live 24/7 until the new season. Yeah, and I'll be celebrating playing music that will delete the stream afterwards, and the copyright strikes will be gone. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you could play the music that I sent you earlier today. It won't be copyrighted.
I saved that one for later because there was some expletives in there, Tony. Right? All right. Arsenal go 1-0 down. We talked about the Gabriel mistake. Um, and for me, I think somebody said they thought that Gabriel was trying to find David Raya for the pass.
I,
Horrible pass to a striker, and every striker who's going to get basically a free opportunity to shoot a goal. If they're a good striker, if they're a good
Raya
forward, they're gonna
still Raya still almost stopped that thing.
well, almost, but didn't. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what the striker knew. He was like, if I put this in this left hand corner, no matter how fast he can slide, he just
He,
wouldn't be able. He's not going to be able to get to his cell.
he,
Evan Nielsen did well there.
okay,
AFC Road to
guess like
play.
you didn't take another touch because it
Yeah,
wasn't blocked.
Evan Nielsen. So, uh, who's asking? Somebody's asking if you knew Callum Chambers scored the winner in Cardiff today. Did you know that?
Nope.
Well, you should just say, yeah, I knew that, because I know everything about Callum Chambers. So Callum Chambers scored the winner for Cardiff today. You know, Madueke, Michael, you're right. Madueke had a good game. He looked sharp again, and we're a goal down, Tony, and 15 minutes. Madueke is key in the goal. He creates the opportunity to get to the byline. Skips past a couple of Bournemouth defenders. Um, he gets to the byline, and his pullback or his cross comes to Hincape. Hincape tries to take a shot. Hincape is actually the one who's kicked in the build up to this. Shot it comes spills to Martinelli. Martinelli has a shot, bit of a melee in the penalty box, but the ball spills to Gabriel Magalhaes on the left hand side, and he bursts the net with a shot. 1-1 Arsenal.
It's amazing how good of a shot he has.
It's amazing what?
How good of a shot he has on him.
Oh yeah, and a strong shot on him as well, and he's pretty good on the left foot. So Tony, we were talking about Gabriel. I think we were talking about Gabriel because he did score against Aston Villa. That's right. We were
Yeah,
talking about him on Thursday.
yes.
You know.
Stan was talking about how he had a good leg on him.
Yeah. Mister, there's a Mister in the house. As long as you stay respectful, you know. We do have um, moderators that can take care of you. You know, we have the power. So maybe you're a Manchester City fan,
So does He-Man.
huh?
So does He-Man. I have the power.
The power of Grayskull. You know what I mean? So yeah, there we go. Yeah. So 1-1 against Bournemouth.
We get a
Um,
new
back
live
in
action Masters of the Universe movie this year, right?
we're back in the game. Back in the game, Tony. And the first half would ebb and flow, and we didn't really have a lot of control in the game, but it did seem.
All those giveaways are terrible. No excuse for being that sloppy in your own half. But with about 15 minutes left, that's when he started having Odegaard cross over to the left.
I took care of the mod situation myself. So, BX Gunner, where are you? Um, yeah, we go in 1-1 at halftime, Tony. And, as in on Tuesday night, we come back out with a renewed determination. I think is the best word to put it. Put it right. Renewed determination.
Yeah, I don't know. What was it there in the first half?
Wasn't there in the first half. 53 minutes, the Rice goal, right? Odegaard assist. Right, and Rice is a calm finish. So, but this all originates from a long ball that was played up to Jokeres.
Yeah,
And you see some clips that have gone around the house, around done the rounds, right? That he's attracted three or four Bournemouth players onto him and caused a little bit of mayhem. And due to that mayhem, um, the ball comes back out to Odegaard. Odegaard's able to um, find Declan Rice, who's now joined the play on the edge of the box. And Declan Rice, what 105 million pounds. We talked about this. Declan Rice has been um, outstanding in his time with Arsenal. Think of the other players who are worth have been.
minus the first half of last year in the Premier League, he was not good.
Uh, yeah, listen, I've told you this, Tony. Declan Rice was injured at the beginning of last season, so you have to understand that they're not like robots. These players are not robots, but yeah, BX Gunner, you generally don't have to do any bouncer duties, but you stepped away. You let your guard drop, BX. You let your guard drop for 2 seconds, and then you have something that needs to get dealt with. You step away. You thought the house was clean, and then a rat came in. Was a nice. That was nice. A few players got rested.
Somebody
BX,
went through the doggy door.
BX, you were like Manchester City in the last 5 minutes of that game. You let your guard down, and a rat comes in like Enzo at Chelsea. Uh, there's an Odegaard in Bologna, says Riddy. Stan will be joining us shortly. He'll be there soon. Yeah, you stepped away for a minute or two. Rat had wandered in. I did BX. I did put a temporary timeout. Maybe he'll get tired and go away. But we'll see if you got any work to do a little bit later.
What did he go to?
BX has to call it. Come into the HR Monday morning. First thing Monday morning. BX. Aussies are too chill. Uh, I was on a smoke break. Listen, you put that smoke in your mouth and take care of the trash and take it out, okay? What were your other two hands doing, BX?
He was using a bong. He had both hands in
Yeah. You're trying to stick up for your mate now. The Bong brothers.
a bong.
Uh, yeah, listen, it was nice getting. So talk to me about Declan Rice, Tony.
Like I've always had, I like him going forward in an attack. I think that's what he's best at. think you're seeing a lot more of that this year since you do have Zuba Monday back there that is just there to clean up in front of us in our back, which he does very well at. So gives Rice the freedom to go forward. No strike, always have a power on it.
Yeah. So most players in that position, maybe let's pick a player who could be 100 million or was 100 million. Enzo Fernandez, for instance, or Caicedo. Those kind of players have got the raw talent, but don't have the technical ability, or they haven't worked on the technical ability.
Well,
Caicedo, Caicedo might sky that one over or wide. You know, you just need
I,
in that
I,
situation when you're coming onto the ball, Tony. You just need to have like a good connection, get it on target, and keep it low. And luckily enough, it evades a couple of legs here and there and squeezes in past the goalkeeper's unsighted probably in this situation. So talk to me, Tony. How does a trifecta stop you from doing your bouncing duties? You know, smoking the trifecta. Had a one hitter. Tony from the missile drop kicks. You know these things. You know.
yep,
Yeah.
do know
So
about smoking.
great
And I
pass
quit.
from great pass from Martin Odegaard to pick out Declan Rice. Have the foresight and the vision to see
I,
um, Declan Rice.
there was one thing I didn't like from Riceless game.
What?
Him yelling at Gucharest when Gucharest got fouled.
Oh yeah, he was yelling at Jokeres, but I didn't see what he did wrong. The commentator said that he was yelling at Jokeres, but I didn't see what Victor had done wrong. You know.
It's when he got fouled and he went down. It was actually a yellow card because he had a shirt and pulled him down.
Mm.
But he
Yeah,
was
like,
yelling at him for
yeah.
going down easily.
Well, you try to get the decision from the referee. You try to get the yellow card, maybe. You know.
It was a yellow card. The ref was it?
Reddy wants to know how much did Jokeres physically contribute to the first Rice goal. I think he sets up the platform for the ball to come back. Like you got three or four players. Like some people said, even five. But let's say realistically, you got three or four players around you contesting that high ball.
Like
And
flies on shit, right?
yeah, and whether Jokeres actually gets on the ball and deflects it, gives it back to Odegaard, it's kind of a moot point for me because the ball does come back to Odegaard. And in that situation, now we've developed, an attacking player on the edge of the box with Martin, and we've got three or four players 2 or 3 yards ahead of him that are occupied trying to challenge Jokeres. And now those one or two of those three players would have been on the edge of the box maybe to stop Declan Rice coming onto that ball. So I think it was very important in the action of the goal. I thought Gyökeres's contribution was important, and sometimes may go unseen. You know.
Yeah. He gave us lots of space and in football you want space.
hmm So I think that he did give them a lot of space and give them a lot of time to be able to engineer that goal. Arsenal go 2-1 up in the 55th, 53rd minute. BX said Martinelli's header, Gyökeres' run, and Odegaard's pass. Yeah, all worked in sync to engineer a goal at Bournemouth. Last season, we remember last season, Tony, at Bournemouth is one of the tough results for us to take. With a Liverpool team were winning many of their games, and we dropped further behind last season with Saliba sending off. in the first half, and then late on. Martinelli having a chance late on in that game and losing 2-0 in the end to one of Kivior's bad moments with that back pass to David Raya. But we definitely made amends for that. And this season it does seem to be we are amending some of the bad results from last season, and we were 10 points off the pace last season. So you'd like to see you'd like to see it now where we're about 15 points ahead of where we were on the same results last season. Martinelli's header run and Odegaard's pass. Then at this point, 66 minutes, I mentioned the triple substitution, Tony. We basically take our full forward line off and bring on a whole new set of players that's going to occupy the defenders at the back. This is good, right? For the coming months, we're going to have to fight EFL, FA
No,
Cup, Champions League, and the League Premier League, right?
I don't believe in Jesus.
You don't believe in Jesus? Do you believe in Jesus?
Nope.
Who do you believe in? You believe in the Eucharist of
I,
Christ.
I
Victor.
believe in our.
Do you believe in victory, Tony? Do you believe in victory?
Yeah,
Do you believe in V?
and I believe in our other Gabby,
Or do you believe in the divine?
our shit house Gabby.
Or do you believe in Kai in the sky?
Nope.
Kai in the sky? Jesus? Or do you have a come to Jesus moment? Or do you have a V for victory moment?
Neither one of those you can count on because they really don't go past the
Or do you
25
want
game.
Mighty Marino?
I don't want any of them.
Tony believes in the Emmy. You believe in the Emmys, Tony?
Nope. That's you and Gary.
The Eucharist
We,
of Christ.
we have a damn guy 10 years and he didn't do shit, mate.
BX, I'm going to have to go to confession for such things, I think. Forgive me, Father. It's been many years. But I did a podcast with Tony, and I cursed a lot. The bench was so high quality, said Michael. Yeah, we listen, and I think that's part of the reason why Waneri didn't get onto the bench. You know, we had Kepa, we had White, we had Miles Lewis, Skelly, Norgard, Trossard, Jesus, Eze. We had Martinelli, Marino. So, Waneri couldn't get on then in that situation. You know. And I think we are going to need the likes of Ethan Waneri as well as the weeks go on. FA Cup's coming. We're going to have some Champions League games that we may not necessarily need to win these games. So you mix up your team a little bit, Michael. Bukayo Saka was on the bench, exactly, Michael. So Waneri's just on the bubble in that situation. You know what I mean? He's one of those teams that he's in the playoff hunt. To use an
I,
NFL, a football league, a National Football
I,
League, NFL parlon there. You know what I mean? He's in the hunt. One area's in the hunt, but he may not get into the playoffs. You know. I wonder if Max Damon will come back. Is he? So what's the deal with Max Damon? Is he injured? Did he go out on loan? Do you know anything about that, Tony? No.
they said injury, and I've heard that he's under 23, so who knows?
Charles in the house. Thanks for being here. Good to see you again, Charles. Afternoon, gents. How are we feeling? Well, we're feeling mighty good. 4-point lead to City would have been good all of itself. A 7-point lead overnight has just been cut back by just the 1 point. In essence, Manchester City will say that they've dropped 2 points So yes, now it is a 6 points gap. Means nothing if we don't do business versus Liverpool on Thursday. Keep going. That'll all work out. Is all I have to say. Yeah, and that Liverpool team, it's a big drop off from last season. I, I contend that we let Liverpool walk into a title last season. We were the only legitimate challengers, and we challenged them all the way up to March, and then fell away. Um, so I don't know if that Liverpool team is all that. They won the league last year because we basically signed off on the season in January. This time last year, Gabriel Jesus got injured in the third round of the FA Cup. As we all know, we didn't go out and get an Ollie Watkins. For me, long term, Ollie Watkins would be a replacement for Gabriel Jesus. We should have done that in January. If we had Mikel Merino and we had Gabriel Jesus, who knows what could have happened versus Liverpool last season with all of the injuries we had. Um, so, in essence, what I'm saying, Tony, is Liverpool are not the team they were last season. They're going to come to the Emirates, and first and foremost, I'm a professional footballer that's lost up there at Anfield. I'll remember on Thursday night. I'll remember that game. If I'm David Raya, if I'm Gabriel Magalhaes, if I'm Saliba, if I'm Declan Rice, I'll remember that game at Anfield. And what do you want to do when the team comes back to you after you've been beaten? You know what I mean?
Oh, just get 3 points every week, right?
You want the revenge. You want to get the revenge. That's what you want. You want to get the revenge. Um, Play our strongest 11 against Liverpool and Chelsea. Rotate against Pompey. Definitely. Um, there's going to be quite a mixture of um, teams put out there by Mikel Arteta. And Mikel Arteta is the only. Sorry, Stan. Double clicked on the button. Sorry about that. Hi, Stan.
Right. Good
Hello,
afternoon,
hello.
everyone.
That's the one we like up there, right? We, Nobody
Yeah.
likes that third segment. How we
We,
feeling,
we, we,
Stan?
we got a front two. Stan's happy. We just really had one.
Stan's
Stan
playing at the
would be
back.
really happy.
He's sweeper keeper at the back. How we feeling, Stan?
Very good. We increased our lead, and it's the second time now in a row that we won before Man City in the games, and we've done what we've had to do. And Man City seem to be feeling the pressure a little bit.
Yes.
And as I
Yes.
said previously on Thursday, it seems for so many seasons that we were always in that position where we had to go, second, and we would invariably drop the ball.
Yes.
So now it's the other way around, and it seems to be working in our, it seems to be working in our favour. We're
Yeah.
very happy.
Yeah. I was thinking, Chelsea got the goal late on, 93rd, 94th minute. I was thinking that City were going to take the 3 points, and of course, this coming next set of games, City go before us. But now we've actually got a little bit of breathing room now with that 6 point gap. You know that if they do the business, which they must against Brighton at home on I think Wednesday, we have Liverpool coming in the day after. Stan.
Yeah, we're basically. I like to look at it with 6 points. We're sort of like 2 games ahead of them now.
Yes.
And I think that during the rest of the season we can afford to drop a couple of games, and in doing that, I still think that Man City will drop points as well. So I'm liking the look of the table.
Yes.
A lot of people were saying, weren't they, that it gets to this part of the season and Man City put on the afterburners, but it's not. It hasn't been the case.
No. And
So we've just
we
got to
got
keep we've just got to keep doing what we've been doing.
that's what we got to do. We've won 5 in a row now, Stan.
Yeah,
You know,
got to keep that. Got to
um,
keep that going.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, Everton, Brighton, Aston Villa, and Bournemouth. One manager is possibly getting sacked, says Michael. I just seen a headline. Amram says he won't quit. I think the West Ham coach might get sacked pretty soon. He's not careful. He didn't look too happy on the sideline. Is Watkins a free in the summer? He should be. I don't know. Um,
And do we want a 30 year
sign,
old Watkins?
sign the new deal maybe in the.
I seem to remember you, Ray, saying that Ollie Watkins wouldn't get more goals than Victor Gyökeres at the beginning of the
I
season.
think I probably might have said that, Stan. Yes.
You did. You said it to me on this channel.
That's fair. I don't know what the
I
I don't
said
know what
that
the
it
what
was
are
when
the
I said
tallies
that
now?
it was when I said that I would have preferred us to have signed Watkins right at the beginning of the season before games had been played, or maybe one had been played.
What's the ledger look like for each now?
I think it's in all competitions. I think it's equal
Equal. Yeah.
in all competitions. In the Premier League, I think Watkins has more.
I would have liked. Obviously, I've said this. I would have liked us to go and get Watkins in January. Deliver a challenge to Liverpool last season, and and sell Gabriel Jesus in due course. You know what I mean?
Bucharest has 5 in the league.
Yeah. But Watkins has started off slow, but he's starting to get goals now. Anfield has been so quiet. Um, yeah. So Stan, your thoughts on the Bournemouth game? We got to the 2-1 stage in our coverage of recapping the game.
Yeah, I just thought it was a good. Actually thought it was a good performance. We've come away with 3 points. We had a little bit of rotation, and like you said, in the game that we changed out our front three, and I just felt that we were in control of that game.
Yeah, I agree. Um,
Maybe after the first half, we were so sloppy the first half.
We give them a
we
goal, and we
give
still we give them a goal basically, but we still
yeah,
managed to get ourselves out of the shit.
yeah. We basically gave them a goal start, and
Exactly.
any team in their own gaff, any team in their own place, have the capability of scoring a good goal by themselves, and they did that late on. When we were leading 3-1, they got a goal back. Uh, a well taken goal. You got to hold your hands up and say, "Oh, the only thing you could have done was maybe pressure the player a little bit more," which is what David Raya wanted. But um, we had 3 goals in the tank. Just in time, we were calling for this team to open out and start scoring more goals. We needed one of our squad members, OG, to help us for a time at at the end of last month, and now we started OP. OP has started to play well. Open play goals, OPG. You know what I mean? So we went from OG and we put a P in between the OG, open play goals. If you know what I'm saying. Declan Rice, Stan. Your thoughts on Declan Rice? 105 million pounds.
I think Declan Rice is actually responsible for a new setting on the latest. Because if you look at FIFA 25, when you do you set up your career and you're tinkering around with player roles. Now, in FIFA 26, for the midfield role, especially a deep midfield role, they have the setting for box crasher, which they didn't have on FIFA 25. And I think that's what Declan Rice is. He's able to do that thing which is called box crashing and come arriving into the box as an extra body, and is now learning as well how to tuck those goals away.
Yeah.
So no one really talks about how much he costs, which tells you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's usually only a sticking point if a player isn't deemed to be living up to their value.
Yeah.
And no one really talks about how much Declan Rice costs. And
Oh,
for a team which generally is hated by any other fan apart from Arsenal fans, I mean, I even saw it on Twitter today. Where people really wanted Man City to get the points to close that gap. We are a hated team. But what the point I'm making is that for a team that is so hated, I have noticed that the majority of pundits, if not all of them, they really laud Declan Rice, probably through gritted teeth because he plays for us. But it's hard to deny the value that he brings to a team.
Yeah, 100%. And in some respects, some of our fans say, we shortchanged West Ham. We should drop another 50 or 100 million in their mailbox. It wouldn't be out of place. You know what I mean? We made proper good use of space in this game, especially in the second half. Really, Rice and Big Gabby are our heartbeats. So, yeah, I mean, Gabriel Magalhaes makes a mistake, and he immediately atones for it. I think he was pumped and excited to do that. Declan Rice. We remember Declan Rice not being happy about just beating Wolverhampton Wanderers with a lot of luck on our side. We remember him not being the happy one last month. So now he's putting something behind those thoughts and those comments. He's backing it up with his performances and goals. You know what I mean? So they are definitely our two heartbeats in the team. Is the second best Premier League player behind Haaland? I think we're saying is Rice the second best behind Haaland? Is the question. Um, Even Chelsea fans wanted their team to lose today. And here's the thing: Arsenal are Arsenal. We've got stability at our club. They've changed 17 managers in 20 seasons, which
Yeah,
is crazy. Crazy. We've done three in that time, Stan, Tony. You um, we stole a beat on Chelsea's continued dominance by getting Rice. There was a time, BX, when Stan referred to previous years that we would be going second and dropping points, in a title race. Those were the days when I thought, well, Rice is nailed on to go to Chelsea. He'd never want to come to Arsenal. Well, we turned that around. Now we're the dominant team in London, maybe the dominant team in the Premier League. And Rice has come to us. And I think we made the right decision there. We talk about Trossard and we talk about Mudryk, but there was a discussion between Declan Rice and Caicedo at the time. You know what I mean? Which was
yeah.
the better player for us to target? We've done well in both of those transfer dealings, I would say. Um, it's been reported Liam Rosignor, who is apparently the son of Leroy, is being interviewed for the Chelsea job. So, and I think that's from Strasbourg, and they are within the Chelsea umbrella. You know,
I think at Chelsea they want a style of manager that is more of a coach, right? Who is basically the hierarchy of the club, the board or whatnot, football directors or sporting directors or whatever you want to call them, are making key decisions, and you're basically just getting players sold or brought to you as the season goes on, and it's your remit is to work within those parameters, which is never going to suit someone like a Jose Mourinho or a Conte, for example. These are
yeah.
personality. These are personalities that want to be. They want to have their hands on all of the levers. And somebody I would imagine like Rossignol, who's already working within that structure, he probably understands what it's like to work for this company that owns these teams like Chelsea and Strasbourg. So it'd probably be a good fit for them, ownership wise. I don't know anything about the manager to say what it's going to be like for what it will be like on the pitch. But I think for the ownership side, it's probably a good fit because this is exactly how they want to work, and they're bringing in a man that's already been working, under those parameters.
The worry would be, I know probably as much as you, maybe a little bit more about this, but not too much more. The worry would be that he hasn't got a lot of experience then, and he's done well in the last season or two, you know. And as we well know, coming from the French league to the Premier League, it's a different animal. Patrick Vieira maybe is one of those examples that came from the French league. And I'm not going to say Patrick Vieira was out of his depth in the Premier League, but it's definitely a learning curve. You know what I mean? Um,
It
so,
wouldn't surprise me with Maresca that behind the scenes, this has all been,
sort
sort of structured out. And especially if Man City don't win this season, that perhaps he is being lined up to be a successor
yeah,
of Pep
yeah,
over at Man City. And they're probably saying, well, look, get yourself some rest, recharge your batteries,
yeah,
and we'll see you in the summer.
yeah.
Just make sure you're by the phone in the summer. Up until then, go on holiday. Be nice to the missus. Make sure that you sort of
Take her
make
on a
sure,
vacation or holiday.
make sure you take the kids out to the London dungeons and Madame Two Swords and get all of that done because come the summer, we want you up here.
When
And it
needed.
wouldn't surprise me if that's what's happening because it's very rare for a football manager to walk away from their job because they leave with nothing. Whereas even if you're going through a stinker, you just wait for the club to get rid of you, and whatever's left in your contract, you're going to collect. It's a great position to be in as a football manager that you can do your job so badly, but yet you're still financially rewarded by getting your whole contract. So I'm surprised that somebody would leave their job if there's nothing going on in the background.
Mm.
A bigger
Mhm.
calling perhaps. Because if you think about it, he's been able to use Chelsea as a bit of a platform for himself.
Yeah,
Stuff, he's ladder.
yeah.
He's moving his way up and it's I suppose it's arguable whether he's made a name for himself at Chelsea and the World Club Cup.
I think the conference as well, right? They own that conference thing as
and,
well. But
and conference, and it's arguable whether he's done enough. Some might say yes, he has. Some might say no. But it wouldn't surprise me if that's what's happening in the background.
ob- objectively, I think he has improved Chelsea in the last couple of seasons. And you're right; these are the times of the year, maybe when these discussions are being had behind closed doors, or maybe publicly. Because I think you referenced on Thursday night, Stan, that he had said that he had the worst 20 to 48 hours of his life in the previous few games back, you know. So the relationships behind closed doors at Stamford Bridge may have waned. And
Well, he intimated that he and his team, which is probably his coaching staff, were being treated badly in one way
Mhm.
or another. And I'm paraphrasing, weren't being paid respect or whatever. So who would that be by? Would that be by that can only be by three factions. It's either the players, the fans, or the ownership.
Yeah,
And I would
and
probably,
there is a
I would probably wager that it was the ownership because I'm pretty sure that I also heard that he was interested in bringing in another defender, and the ownership said no, we're not interested in bringing in another
yeah.
defender. So
The
again, so I'm
ones
saying like these are the parameters that you're working under, right? If you're working at
yeah,
Chelsea, whereas
there was
Mikel Arteta's gone the other way, where he had the title of coach, and then that was bumped up to manager,
yeah,
which
and that's something
tells
that
you that they're laying more trust in his hands and not micromanaging him like they do over at Chelsea.
they laid more trust at his hands at his feet, but he also wanted that freedom. You know, there is a big distinction between head coach and manager at a in the structural and what do I want to say the tools at his disposal, the power that he has at a club. You know.
Well, that's why he turned down the job the first time before Emery took it, is
Mhm.
because he wanted more say.
Yep. So I mean, he had to do that in the first 6 months, winning the FA Cup with the players that he had at his disposal, and now we're in a much more healthier position. What's going over at Chelsea? And here's the thing: Man City have probably looked at Arteta, and there may be a rebuffal, or there may be have been an acceptance that he's never going to leave Arsenal for City. He's not going to leave for the project after Pep Guardiola, because as Stan has said in previous podcasts, you almost never want to be that next manager after, um, a legacy manager like Alec Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, or Pep Guardiola when he does move. Um, there is various conversations that happen, and so the smoke signals are there. Maybe Pep Guardiola is um, thinking about his next move, his next opportunity. He was linked with having discussions with Juventus. And this throws up another thing. Did we see Rice's kiss cam? Yeah, I did. I think Declan Rice is pretty happy. Keeping me entertained whilst drinking. Yeah, enjoy. Um, so we're talking about Chelsea, and the next time we face up to Chelsea will be in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. So we want to be able to take advantage of any issues that are going on behind the scenes at Chelsea, and not have the other thing happen to us where they gain momentum under a caretaker manager, or a new manager who may come in um, to take over. You know, but that remains to be seen. The third goal, then Declan Rice's second goal stand. I mean, because Saka's on the field, Gabriel Jesus is on the field, and Trossard's on the field. We've switched out our whole front line, and we've got three new players in there. Um, Odegaard's pass inside the fullback. I mean, Odegaard tries this almost every game, Stan, but it comes off this time.
Yeah, Odegaard's been making some good contributions over the last few games. He seems to be coming back to his former self
Yes,
with the way that he's able to contribute, for Arsenal during games.
he's
But
getting used.
and I think with Declan Rice as well, it's like if you show your teammates that you can use the ball well, then you will get the ball. You'll be trusted to receive the ball. Whereas if you're getting the ball and you're not able to do much with it, then your chances might be near and far further between, because you lose a little bit of trust. And I don't think that players have meetings about this and conspire. I just think it's a mental thing in the moment of the game when you're looking up for that pass. You're probably more likely to give it to someone that you believe is going to be useful with it. If you see somebody
Yes.
that's continually fluffing their chances, you might be a little bit more reluctant to give that person the ball. You
Yeah,
know,
especially second half, last 20 to 25 minutes of a game. You get to the 70-minute mark. The pitches are a little bit heavier in winter. It's colder, and you're grafting a little bit more. You've got more games to get through. Now we've got a game every 3 days almost. That you don't want to give a ball away, because then you have to run in the opposite direction, and you're just burning energy where you don't need to. So you need to be savvy about keeping the ball and having the player protect the ball for you, the forwards especially.
I'm going to leave and come back. I've got a bit of a weird connection.
All right, cool. Uh, going to get back to Tony in any case. But that Odegaard pass inside, uh, something that you're getting through balls, Tony. We're getting through
Yeah.
balls. I mean, this
We,
is
we,
the
we,
inside. This is the inside right channel, but it's a through ball.
we've been leading the league in it, but we still don't do it enough.
What's that?
I said this season we've been leading the league in it, but we
Through
still not
balls.
do it. Yeah.
It wasn't. That's not something that if you told somebody that was the best thing we did this season, they'd be like, well, maybe goals from corner kicks or set piece goals, Arsenal have been better than anyone else in, and that may be the case as well. But to say through balls that we've been the best at through balls is a turn up for the books for me.
You definitely want to. You have
Huh?
to be checking your glasses and making sure they're working right over your ears.
Yeah. The Odegaard's pass inside the fullback. Saka's onside. He's racing to get to the ball before the defender and cuts the ball back to Declan Rice. And Declan Rice's second wonderful finish, almost like from the same position in the field. And Arsenal 3-1 up. And we have that cushion that we needed at the end of the day. Stan, you want to speak on that?
So I didn't hear the question. I've got a bit of feedback. My connection's a bit patchy. Say that again. Sorry.
Just Declan Rice. The Saka cuts the ball back to Declan Rice. The second goal looks to be pretty much in the same position on the field, same result, and we're 3-1 up at that point.
I thought there was a possibility that he might even get a hat trick.
Yeah,
that he was, making those runs and making himself available.
Yeah. Definitely. I think he's understanding that. Well, he understands the league right now, and he understands that we need to keep churning results to stay ahead of City, put some pressure on City, and if what we saw today turns out to be a little bit of a crack, I mean, 2 draws for City, you'd have to say it's a bit of a crack, a bit of a bottle, for me anyway.
But are you more worried about them, or are you more worried about Villa?
I'm more worried about City.
Even though Villa has won 12 of the last 13.
I know.
And the league. In the league.
So, for me, I've always kind of felt you and Stan can chime in on this one. I felt this season that we shouldn't respect the aura of City as we did in the last 2-3 seasons, and understand that could be misplaced confidence. I feel in effect that this City team are not as good as the one 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think teams look at City now. There was a time when there was probably a time when other teams looked at their fixture list and saw City coming up and thinking, well, we probably won't get very much out of this game, and start already looking ahead to the next fixture. Whereas now, I think that a lot of teams really want to give City a game. That they believe in themselves that you can get something out of the game, rather than just kind of like rolling over and having the game already won before a ball's been kicked. I think that aura has slightly faded now from City. That you look at them and you just think to yourself, it is possible to get something out of the game.
Yeah, I think everybody except for the bottom 2 thinks they can at least get a point against City.
Yeah. And there was a point around the 88th minute today when I'm watching Chelsea and I'm thinking, okay, if I'm the Chelsea caretaker manager, I'm saying, okay, we're losing 1-0. And I would be saying, wow, that's respectable. Well, it didn't happen that way. Chelsea found the weakness at their fullback in the fullback position, was able to get down the line, and get a cross in and create a little bit of mayhem. And Donnarumma is a fine goalkeeper and very, very tall with long limbs, and he's able to reach, but the ball was beyond him. And Enzo was able to scramble the ball in at the end of the day. So whilst they have very, very good players from 1 through 25, I'm going to distill their team down to say they have a world-class goalkeeper and they have a world-class striker. Is that fair?
No, I think they've got some very good players. I mean, Rodri's a good player. He's a very good player. Cherky looks like a very good player. Reinders looks like a very good player as well. Doku, Savinha. I think they've got some good players in that team. But I think where we edge them is our defence. Off the ball, we're better than them. We have a much better defensive setup than they do. and I think that's beginning to pay off for us.
Yeah.
Even so much in the fact that Gabriel scored in 2 games in a row.
Yes.
You know, going back to the 80s or whatever, that was something that you didn't really see that much of. You didn't really expect defenders to
especially
weigh
center
in
back.
the goal count as much.
Not as much. I remember Steve Bold, the near post, the corner flick-ons was a big thing under George Graham.
Yeah.
And Tony Adams will be coming in at the back post to head
But
them in.
Gabriel can actually shoot.
Yeah. He's got. I mean, we talked about this on Thursday night as well. He did score against Bournemouth, a worldie, a couple of seasons ago at the Emirates, and that was chalked off for offside or something like that. But
I mean, if they're picking penalty kicks, they probably have him take one of them.
yeah, Michael has asked the question: who'll finish our top goal scorer? I can't tell you who will finish our top goal scorer right now. It doesn't really bother me or tweak me. We're going to have a spread of goals. We're halfway through the season now. We're going to have a spread of goals where nobody's really the outright goal scorer. But if I was to hazard a guess, I might say Trossard. Yeah,
I think at this moment in time, with what we've done so far, he's probably the favourite so far.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure all three of us would love any one of our strikers to be scoring 10, 15 goals at this point in the season, but that's just not the reality right now of it.
What if Gabriel finishes their top scorer?
It's possible.
He's only one behind Bucharest.
He's just come back into the team, and he scored 2 goals just coming back into the team. So he's 2 for 2. He's on a hot goals. He's on a purple patch. City don't really have a strong spine. No Rodri, no Kevin De Bruyne.
I mean, you got 4 goals with 18 games to go, and you're a center back.
Yeah. There we go. Michael said at the moment, Trossard and Gyökeres are leading with 5 goals. It does seem to me that more of the opportunities come from our flanks at this point in time. So that would lean toward Trossard being our goal scorer. As long as our squad stays healthy for the most part, and we can continue to put some good teams on the field, because we're still fighting on 4 fronts here. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup is going to come down next Sunday. The FA Cup, we're going to play Pompey away from home to Pompey, and we have Chelsea coming up as well. So all is going well. I think we'll get out of here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. We won't stay too much longer. Anything else to add, Stan or Tony? About the game in general, or just anything about what you're seeing out there? Liverpool dropped 2 points at Fulham as well. So, big game coming up on Thursday, Stan. I
have to believe that I have to believe that we can get something out of that game with the way that we've been playing and the way that they've been playing.
Yes. No Mo Salah. Isak's injured, so it is strange how. Always remember the summer window doesn't always augur well for your season. You can't really judge things. We'll be back here, Stan and Tony, in June and July, talking about transfers and talking about windows. But we'll always probably have that cautionary note of wait till we get into September and October before we can really tell how the team's going to bed in. It does seem that our team has bedded in quite well. The likes of Zubimendi have settled pretty well. Madueke had a good game yesterday. He was quite direct. He's going to have those kind of games, Stan. Madueke, he's a direct player. It's either going to come off for him or it's not. You know what I mean?
I like his industry. I mean, his footwork really helped in that first goal.
Yes.
His determination to keep trying to be positive with the ball. He's not looking to square it or kick the ball back. He really wants to gain yards up the pitch when he has the ball, and I think that's a good attribute to have.
I thought it was interesting. The commentator said he's in direct competition with Saka. Well, I don't see it that way. He's splitting minutes with Saka. He's still going to be able to stake a claim for a World Cup that's going to come up in the summer. Most of these players will want to be playing well, and those who are not certs to get on the plane to the US will want to impress. Um, I was disappointed that Mikel Merino. You may have heard me say this, Dan. I was disappointed that Mikel Merino came on again in lieu of Eze when it could have been Eze who came on in the 80th minute. You know.
I just think the manager trusts Mikel Mourinho to get a goal than he does over Eze at the moment,
Yeah.
and I get that. I get that. Mikel Mourinho, he does know where the goal is.
Yeah. And Merino had a good shot as well yesterday. As, Michael said, Liverpool are the worst team for set pieces this season. There's an element of revenge that the players should hold for Thursday as well. We lost up there at Anfield earlier in the season, so I want the players to hold that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that was to a piece of wonderful football. One, at set
Yeah,
piece.
a
Wasn't that they
moment.
outplayed us?
No, but the result being
Exactly.
we lost, you still want to get. Last season we drew 2-2 at the Emirates, and we drew 2-2 at Anfield. Losing at Anfield earlier this season, I would like to sign off with Liverpool in the league with 3 points, and demonstrated one extra point from last season, because that's what we seem to have done now for this first 20 games in the league. We've we turned some results around from last season. Even Bournemouth, we beat Bournemouth yesterday, but last season Saliba was sent off, and we lost 2-0 there. So these are important games, especially in light.
We had like six, starting in December, we had like six straight games where we either drew or lost to a team last season.
Yes, we a lot of like. Let's go back. Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think we probably beat both of them. Everton. We struggled with Everton. Brighton. We struggled with Brighton. Um, Aston Villa was a 2-2 last season at the Emirates as well. So Liverpool have a habit of BX says Liverpool have a habit of celebrating early and regretting it minutes later. The tough thing about the Premier League is a lot of goals go in injury time and added time. So yeah, Liverpool were celebrating the 94th minute, and I was like, oh gee, they scored 94 minutes. That's it. They're gonna win, and delighted to see. Although a great goal, it was Harry Wilson.
Wasn't it? Go.
What are they called? Harrison Wilson, I think they called his full name. Excellent goal. Um, but yeah, those are the things you never know in the Premier League. They can come back to sting you, you know?
At least it's not like last year and earlier this season where you're seeing those 97, 98-minute games. It's like, there shouldn't be 8, 9 minutes of stoppage time, but a lot of them are doing that verbal time wasting,
Yeah.
which Arsenal was doing a lot of yesterday.
We're going to get your predictions for Thursday. You want to go first, Dan?
Well, Liverpool.
Prediction Liverpool game. I'll go 2-0 for what it's worth.
I would go for 2-1.
Okay. Harrison Reed. Yeah, it wasn't Wilson. Yeah. All right, Dan's going 2-1. I'm going 2-0. We're going to score 2 goals at least, Tony. What are your thoughts?
2-1.
You're going to go 2-1. Okay. Pretty solid. that Liverpool defense has not improved from last season. Still Van Dijk and Konate we can get at them. Um, 6 point lead going into Thursday. I'll take that any day of the week. And my man in the match yesterday, I'm going to go with Declan Rice. I think he's been playing well. Stan, I think you agree.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'll give that to. I'll go with Declan Rice.
2 goals.
What about your Tony Don Juan man of the match? Right?
That would be the Tony Don Juan man. But Gary.
Hey there. I know you are about to leave, so that's cool. Whenever you have to leave, go ahead.
We will not compare you to Alonso in that respect.
Okay.
You just did, right?
Yeah.
I know. He knows. Give us your thoughts, Gary, since you dropped in. I'll give you a couple minutes.
We were talking about stoppage time, and here comes Gary.
Stoppage time, yeah. Oh, you mean like Arsenal?
Just in the Premier League in general, you never know when the game's over. Such as that Liverpool.
You know what? Everybody's desperate now, right? I mean, nobody's running away from anybody in a lot of these games, so everybody has a chance. I mean, even us with a 3-1 lead still can't feel like full pressured, right? And we've let that, I don't feel confident now unless we have a 3-goal lead now. I thought 2 would be enough, but even that's stressing me out. So
we basically give Bournemouth a head start, a goal start yesterday.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
They're always any good team is likely to score a good goal as well. So,
but we corrected it within 5 minutes.
Which is crazy. How can we correct that in 5 minutes and then for the rest of the half we're like struggling to score, right?
If you look at the game, we kept giving them a ball in their half.
Yeah, when you're a bit sloppy with the ball, that's going to happen.
When it is attention to detail, you get the job done, right? We gave up the goal. We were attention to detail. We get the goal back, but it has to be that way for the entire game, not just when you get pressured into it.
I think there was some tactical tweaks made at a halftime in that game.
It was before that. It was about the 35th minute that Odegaard started shifting to the left at times.
Yeah. You know what? Rice was there early in the first half, but they never got. Like you said, they probably didn't get in the ball, or he actually didn't pass. He didn't actually take the shot, but. That 18-yard line, you've seen it there with Eza there. He stands there and he gets the ball. He gets the shot off. Same thing with Rice. You have to. I think having Gyökeres on the pitch means you gotta decide what you want to do. And they leave that area open for us, and we got to take that shot. We've seen Odegaard take that shot from there. It's there. And I think as soon as they decide to break, shut that down, then we'll have even more space in the middle for maybe a striker. So, we'll see.
Declan Rice bringing quality to his finishes as well.
Yeah.
Gary?
Yep. No, I think it's he just has to take the shot. I think we know he's got a good foot on him, right? A good strike on him.
Yeah.
So and he's doing it around people and stuff like that. The goalkeeper sees the ball too late. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Gyökeres is cooked. I think we don't score that second goal if he's not on the pitch.
Yes,
because it doesn't start unless he actually gets a body on that ball.
Let me just say one thing.
I think it's 5 guys on him.
But I think it's great we can have this discussion in the light of us being 6 points ahead of City and Aston Villa. I'll just say that for the first half of the season. I know Stan is not a fan as such of Gyökeres, but we do have the good double punch now of Jesus and Victor Gyökeres in games. Whereas last season we might have had who's the guy? John Duran and the other guy, Watkins. Aston Villa had that. We now have that with Gyökeres and Jesus, and I'll go to Stan with that.
The difference between Duran and
yeah, but Gyökeres is joint top scorer.
Ask you guys something. I just wanted to ask you guys something because as we're talking about the online, that the consensus was, and everybody seemed to be, well, not everybody, a lot of people seem to be saying that, why are we taking Gyökeres off for? We always suffer or lose a goal, or we give a goal away when he goes off.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm just like, if that's where we're looking, if that's what we're looking at on how to grade a striker,
yeah,
I just think that if it was any other team that had signed Victor Gyökeres, whether it be Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United, and he was doing, and their fans were looking deeply and trying to find the reasons to say that he was a good, I think we would be. But I just think I'm just like, if that, we didn't buy him to be a decoy. That's what we didn't buy.
He needs goals. He needs to score.
He needs to score goals or create goals, and he's not doing either for me at the moment. But he hasn't been doing really either since he's been with us.
But do you recognise, Stan? Do you recognise the second goal, that he was involved in the second goal, or his part in the second goal?
But as I said in the last podcast, if he'd had more goals and his belt, and he has a game where he doesn't score but he's involved, you can take that. But when you have a background of, well, you haven't really done either in the previous games, it doesn't seem like enough. I can forgive my striker not scoring or assisting if they've got a good body of work behind them, but they still do other things in that particular game. But for me, it's just more of the same.
But he did actually do something. So you're saying he didn't do anything before. He finally does something, and you're saying that's still not good enough. But that's actually better than doing nothing. As a lot of people believe he's done nothing before. He actually did something this time, and we're saying, you know what, that's not good enough. I think that's a step in the right direction. Don't we want to see? We want to see improvement from game to game. We finally saw it, but you can't get rid of the history of everything else. I think if Havertz was healthy and Jesus was healthy, he probably wouldn't have played as many games, and he probably wouldn't have this stick to beat him with. And the fact that we talk about, well, he can't hold the ball up. He finally gets in a situation where he's getting the ball. If he doesn't even touch that ball, guess what? The attack dies. Rice doesn't score. He does it. We ended up get a goal out of it, and now we can't look at the positive of that because of everything else he hasn't done. So for me, I think that's a step in the right direction. Does he need to do a lot more? Oh yes, he needs to do a lot more. But I'm not going to sit there and go, okay, I can't even give him the positives about what he just did. You know what I mean? He did something good there, right? If we're looking to score a goal, we need to see a little bit more. Has to be on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
If we're looking to score a goal, you don't bring Havertz on to score a goal, right?
I just think that when it gets to the end of this season, and let's say we do win something big, and we're having like a reflection back on the season. When it comes to Victor Gyökeres, is that what we're going to be seeing? Is that what we'll be saying? Oh, do you remember that time he pushed that guy out of the way? Or do you remember that time?
You don't know. You're talking. Let's talk about it now, because I can't talk about the future.
I do know. Gary,
you don't know. You don't know. You have not seen the future. Because
okay. I'll meet you back here, and
you have not seen the future, so you don't know. The man is our top. He's top for our top scorer in the Premier League right now. You think he's struggling? And the team is getting better at open play football.
He's joint top with Trossard for whatever it's worth. He's joint top with Trossard. Yeah. Listen, we both agree. Both Gary and Stan, I'm sure Tony agree that we need to see more from Victor Gyökeres.
And also, when we say when we say
from everyone.
Because Havertz has been out and Jesus has been out, he's had more games to play. You don't score goals. So he has had the best introduction to come into this Arsenal team.
No, he hasn't actually. He has not had the best introduction. No, he has not had the best introduction.
Tony, he must have had a preseason by now.
Why
he
not,
must have had a preseason by now. I mean, he's had so many minutes. He's had a great opportunity to where he's got no one in his way to really stake a claim. Surely, as a new player coming in, you'd be thinking, "Oh, great, those guys are injured. It's all me." And he's had a great. He's had the whole stage to himself to perform, and he's underperformed. But now we're saying that he needs less minutes. You don't do nothing if you don't have the minutes.
But
When
Gary,
he started scoring, he got injured. Now he's just coming back.
but he has Gary. You have to accept that he's had it.
That's another excuse, Tony.
He's had good minutes this season.
Yeah, and in some of those good minutes, he hasn't even had an opportunity to get a touch on the ball. And then everybody's going to talk about.
Oh, come on!
You're gonna. He has. There's. You know how many times I've heard it?
This
You've heard
is
this.
2 games ago.
You know how many times you know how many times we've
about
heard
5
on.
touches released on the pitch.
I watch the games. I see the ball get moved to him, or I get played into space where he's supposed to be. Not there. Or when he does get the ball,
all right,
he loses the duel.
So here's the thing: we'll definitely
I want him to do well. I've got no agenda. I want the guy to do well. Yeah. I was when we signed him, I was like, great, excellent.
So you can talk about when he's done something wrong, but what about when his teammates haven't done the right thing either? You got to go. It's two-way street here.
Well, we do, yeah.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You just talked about when he got there and he didn't do his job. What about when the other teammates didn't do their job? Because that's happened as well. It's a two-way street. Everybody's got to contribute to this.
Like Odegaard.
Odegaard has not passed to him. Saka has not passed to him. Martinelli has not passed to him. We've seen it.
They do pass to him. They do. They do.
No, they don't.
Not in primary.
It goes both ways. You want to look at one side of the table. It's two-sided. There's two sides to this.
We're acting like there's like in the dressing room. They all get there before Victor arrives in the morning.
No, you're making stuff up. See, now you're making stuff. You're not in the locker room, so you don't know. So whatever you just said, it was just a waste of our time. You weren't in the locker room. You don't know that. But what I do know is what I saw on TV.
People online. I've seen people online saying they don't. They're waiting. They're waiting for Jesus so that they can. That's what they're. That's that we're in the driving seat, but the players are more concerned about and waiting.
Why are you bringing up that nonsense, Stan? Why? Let's have a proper talk here. That's nonsense. Why are you bringing it up? That is nonsense. Let's not talk about that.
Nonsense it's this kind of that I see online a lot that makes us a laughing stock to everybody else. By having those conversations.
But you know what? We're not talking about that here. Why are you bringing it up? We're not talking that way. Nobody here said that.
It bothers me.
But it has nothing to do with our conversation right now. I don't believe that.
We have a horrible fan base online.
Can we all agree? I mean, we can all agree that we all felt at this point in the season that Gyökeres would have more goals than he has right now.
Man, if Gyökeres is the
entire team. The entire team.
If he's fine for Chelsea, Liverpool, or anyone else, and he was having the same situation. What about that guy that they spent X amount on his rubbish? You would not be going. You would not be going. Oh, but he's such a decoy, and he does all these other things. You bang.
Nobody here said that.
End of story.
None of us said that here. Why are you bringing up comments from somebody else? Nobody on this conference. Nobody on this screen said any of that.
Yes,
you're bringing up stuff about other people. I didn't say you was. I didn't even said what you just said. I said he helped with the build-up of a goal. Yes, he did.
One of the all say
he's not getting the service.
He isn't getting the service as much as he isn't making a job, doing his job. It's a two-way street, Stan. Both sides can be correct. Both sides can be correct. He's not doing his job, and they're not doing their job.
I think
that's where we are.
2 weeks ago, he got 5 touches.
That's where
which was the least of
go ahead, Tony.
Any player on the pitch. 22 players on the pitch. He gets 5 touches. Least on the pitch.
And there's one game where our captain, who's supposed to be one of the best creators in football, didn't even make one pass towards him. Not one. Not one. Odegaard is one of the best creators in football, and he didn't make one pass to his striker.
Nobody
wants to talk about that, right?
Gary, one of the more recent games I remember was Brighton, and the ball comes to Gyökeres, and it's almost like a pass back to the goalkeeper. He didn't finish it in the way you would have expected him to finish it either. I think he is struggling a little bit in the Premier League and English football. The centre backs are more physical. He's finding that difficult. I think all 4 of us would agree that we would have expected him to be closer to 10 goals than 5 right now.
Okay. What we say the same with Saka? He's on 4.
Yeah,
We always want him to have 10 or
Saka's the best
more.
player on our team, and he's struggling worse than Gyökeres.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
He's
I think
struggling worse
we're
than
six.
Gyökeres. We don't
We're
want to bring
six.
that up.
We're 6
Why?
points clear. 6 points clear at the
Oh,
top
no,
of the
now it's
league.
6 points clear, but when a Gyökeres, it's not 6 points clear. Make up your mind. Which one is it? Our
I'm
best
trying to
player
help
is
you.
struggling worse than our
Trying
striker,
to
who
help you,
everybody
Gary.
doesn't think it thinks isn't that good. Make up your mind. Which one
I
is it?
come in peace, Gary. I come
No,
in peace.
no, you gotta. Saka should have 20 GA, right? But he's not because he's struggling.
Yeah,
Gyökeres should have 10 goals, but he's
Gary.
not because he's struggling.
We went for a period of 4 games where we were surviving on own goals, and those are forced situations from good positions on the field. But the facts are, we got a penalty and 4 own goals in 3 games, something like that. We started to score goals now. We beat Aston Villa 4-1, and we beaten Bournemouth 3-2. So we're scoring goals now. If at the end of the season, a striker is ultimately rated on his goals scored. At the end of the season, we'll obviously be looking back, hopefully at a successful trophy season where we won something or some things, and we will be able to look at Victor's tally at the end of the season. And
But there's one thing
strikers,
consistent.
strikers are judged on goals. Tony, go ahead.
There's a consistent thing throughout the entire 6 years. Nobody's done a good job at striker.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying do a good job. I'm saying getting 15 plus in the Premier League is
We don't
not,
play the football that Gyökeres does. We
shame
don't
on
go.
us then. Shame on us, right? If
Yeah,
we
I mean,
haven't
if they're
if
doing
we
the
haven't
through
figured
balls
out
and
how
getting
to
the ball in
unlock
open space,
if we haven't figured out how to unlock Victor at this point, shame on us. And
I
shame on
mean,
him. He's
he
missed a few
he
chances too.
he has the most runs in the final third of the entire league,
I I want him to be successful.
and
I
I don't
don't
think he hardly ever has the ball.
I want him to score more goals. All of us want him to score more goals. The fact is, here we are halfway through the season. We thought Victor Gyökeres was going to be our number one
Uh,
striker at the club. Kai Havertz is coming back to fitness. We can't put our hands on our hearts and say Victor Gyökeres is going to keep the job for the second half of the season, can we? We can't say that Kai Havertz isn't going to dislodge him
I
from that
don't think he
position.
ever was going to be our number one striker.
He was bought to be our number one
I
striker.
don't think so. I don't believe that. Did you hear the way our manager was talking about Kai Havertz? You think our number one striker was going to be Gyökeres?
What do you
You,
think Andrea Berta thought?
that's two different things, right?
Yes.
One
And
person has control of who gets on the pitch, the other one doesn't, right? So
no, but they can
he's giving like
become.
Eze should probably be on the pitch a lot more, I believe,
Yes, I
but he's
agree with
not,
you.
right? And who's in control of that? Not Berta. Berta's creating, giving him enough tools to get the job done. How he
Yeah,
uses it is up to him,
yeah,
right? I think Eze should have come on many a time late in the game, maybe when we need a goal to maybe close it out, right, or to control the ball a little bit, but we don't do that. So that's on
uh,
Arteta, right? He thinks
uh,
defensively he can close out any game, and so far defensively we can't. Defensively, we can't close out a game defensively because we've shown it time
we've
and
done
time
it.
again. We've given up more goals in the last 15 minutes of a game than I think any team
Yeah.
in the league with the
Okay,
best
but we
defense in the league, right? So that's showing you what's going on there. You know, we closed you down for 75 minutes. The last 15, when we start to go defensive, so when we go
yeah,
defensive, right?
yeah.
We pull our strikers off, we pull some of our holding midfielders out, and we go defensive, and then we give up a goal. It's not good.
The only thing that I'm going back to the Okers thing. The only thing I'm saying, Gary, is it's very easy now for Mikel Arteta to start putting Kai Havertz in as his number 9. You, we can't. None of us could sit here and disagree with that if he starts playing Kai Havertz instead of Gyökeres
And
now.
there's no context to that, right? Is that what you're saying? So we should just go because there's no context. So yeah, right? That's what you mean, right?
Goals.
So we don't even
What's the
we can't even
currency of a
explain what we.
striker? What's the currency of a striker? Goals.
Yeah, but guess what? If you don't get service, guess what? You don't score. Have you ever heard that one?
Right. We said that about Kai Havertz.
So, and you think Kai Havertz will do better in a system that doesn't provide for their striker? Is that what you think?
I thought the Gyökeres would score more goals
No.
than Kai Havertz this season. Now I'm questioning that. That's all I'll say. Do you know what I mean? Even with Kai Havertz missing half a season, he could score more goals than Victor Gyökeres in the team. So I don't know where we go from that, but we're still 6 points ahead.
No,
That's
we're
context. Everyone needs to play their part, says BX Gunner.
but if they're sitting there, we're sitting there 20 games in, and you're leading scorers have 5 goals. That's not enough. You want somebody at least to be at 8 or 9, and
Yes,
you expect Saka to be increasing.
voice of reason, Tony. I definitely
mean,
agree with you, Tony.
I
We'll be
mean, the
selling
bare
two of
minimum for Saka's 10. He's at 4.
I don't think we'll be selling 2 of Gyökeres or Jesus or
I mean, the
Havertz.
only one that's really carrying their weight there is Bessard.
Yep. Yeah, definitely, Tony. Gyökeres scored a brace against struggling Leeds at the time. Big wow. But Leeds are a decent team. 2 goals not to be sneezed
I mean,
at.
if look at Leeds' record of late. Are we going to say
They've been
Leeds is a
doing well.
terrible
That's
team or
right.
not? I mean, they've beaten teams we have, and they played better against teams we
That's
have,
Russ.
right?
Russ put that
Right?
in there.
No, I'm just
Well,
saying. Look what they've done, right? Look what they've done, right?
They've done well.
City needed a 91st minute goal to get beat, right? Liverpool had to come back and tie them in a game. We didn't even scored against Liverpool this year.
Yeah, not yet.
Leeds did. So
On Thursday,
you know all
yeah.
the stuff about it is time of the year and all that stuff, but that's
I
they
don't
count
agree
just the
with
same.
BX here. I don't agree with this BX. You're saying Gyökeres hasn't had the backing of the magnitude of Havertz. You're talking about the backing of the players, the other 10 players on the field.
I think the style of football is different. So you're asking him to do. Everybody wants him to be Kai Havertz, and I think that's the problem. We already had it. We already have Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
We have the best of Kai Havertz. We wanted something different. That's why we went and got a Gyökeres. You get an Ekitike, it's to be the same thing. He has to do certain things that Arteta wants, but he also has his own things that he brings to the table, right?
Gary, do we accept the other 10 players are trying to help both players when they play, right? The other 10 players are either helping Kai Havertz or helping Gyökeres.
Is he talking about the fans here? Is he talking about the
We felt so bad for Kai Havertz. We felt so bad for Kai Havertz. We had to give him a penalty spot to get him off the SNI, right? Get his
Victor
first
got
goal
the
in the
same
league.
thing at Everton.
No, he didn't. He scored against Leeds in the third game. What are you talking about?
Victor Gyökeres got a penalty given to him.
When did we play Everton? We played Everton when? He's
3
actually
games back.
He's a better penalty kicker than Saka. Come on, get off of it. Come on. Try again.
So you just
He
admitted
hasn't lost. He hasn't lost in like 3. He hasn't missed.
All right, listen,
in like 3
Gary,
years.
Gary,
You want to go
listen,
into that? You
Gary,
want to
listen
go
to me.
there?
When did we play Everton? 2 or 3 games back.
Yes, but we played
wasn't
Leeds how
Victor-
many times
hold
ago?
on.
That's when he
Hold
scored
on.
his first goal against Leeds, which was the third game of the season.
Right.
Gary, you're not listening to me. Hold on, Tony. Tony, hold on a second, because Gary, you're saying something's not true here. Victor Gyökeres was gifted a penalty against Everton. Facts.
Victor Gyökeres is a better penalty kicker than Saka.
But he does. Who's the regular penalty taker?
Who's the better penalty kicker?
Gyökeres. But the fact is,
you just said Gyökeres is the better penalty kicker. He took the penalty kick, and now you're saying he was offered it as a olive branch. He was not.
I'm fact checking you, Gary. You said that Kai Havertz needed to be given a penalty.
That was his first goal that he got for Arsenal. That's how we got it.
But that doesn't
matter. He got his first goal. It doesn't matter. Come on, he was struggling.
Gary,
right.
I can't have a one-sided conversation with you, Gary. You gotta let me talk back to you.
Right.
You're laughing at everything I'm saying. I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I'm trying to have a conversation with you, Gary. A discussion.
Right.
Tony, will it be quiet for 2 seconds, please? Because Gary's laughing at the things I'm saying, but he's listening. I'm listening to what he's saying. So, Gary, please listen to what I'm saying. Victor Gyökeres was on a goal drought leading up to the Everton game. He was given a penalty to give him confidence again. Is that correct or incorrect?
I don't know.
You watched the games.
I don't know because he had scored already. It wasn't like he hadn't scored before.
No,
He
I
had
didn't
been
say
out
that. I
injured.
said he was given a penalty.
The only reason why he would have gotten that ball, you just said he was on a goal drought, and I'm saying
Yes.
he had scored already. Kai Havertz had not
How
scored
many
at
games?
all.
How many games had it been since
I don't
before the
know.
Everton
How
I
game?
don't
many
know how many
games
games
was he
between.
out for injury?
Well,
Right?
then he
out
was on
like
a goal drought. I can tell you he was on a goal drought. Check it. Check my facts if you want. The fact is,
When the penalty was
he was given a penalty to give him confidence again to score goals again, because that's what Arsenal do, right? We did the
penalty was
same thing for
given,
Kai Havertz.
when the penalty was given
Go
at
ahead.
Everton. When the penalty was given
Yeah.
at Everton, who picked up the ball?
Odegaard,
Exactly. And then what did he do? He gave it to
Victor.
pick up the ball and say, I'm taking this. So he was given that penalty by the captain.
You know, but you
Similar
know
to Lee.
the way we
Similar to
play.
Lee.
Nobody, the first
Lee.
person that picks up the ball isn't the one who takes it
Similar to
anyways.
Havertz.
Even when Saka's taking it, Erdogan or Rice or somebody will pick up the ball. So what are you? You're just that's just how it works for us. You know that. You know
There
that you've
was
seen
one
it many
occasion
times.
Saka.
There's one occasion, but
Saka said,
typically
"I'm
that
having
doesn't
it."
happen, right?
Yeah,
Typically
Yeah.
somebody else picks it up.
correct.
he's
I'm just
30.
saying you don't do a gesture like that for a striker unless he's struggling to score goals. That's what I'm saying.
He had been out from injury, right? He had only played like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the games that he had played, right?
And
You know
in
what?
his
And
professional
the goal
career,
when he got that penalty, do you know how many starts he had like coming back? That was his second start. Sorry, that was his third start coming back from injury. Right? So
Listen,
yeah. So he had a
Haaland-
little drought, but that's because he hadn't been playing. He wasn't even ready to come back. But
Yeah, but
he
when-
is a
when
penalty.
you're right,
He took our
Gary-
penalty. He took our penalty kick in the Leeds match.
But Gary, you've
The
said
second
it
game of the
before.
season.
You've got no business to be on the field if you're not fit and ready to play. You've
Oh
said
my
that
gosh,
before.
we have never played a player who's not been fit. Have you? Is that you know what? You're right. You got me.
You've
We
said
never
that.
play players that are 100% fit. Are you kidding me? Stop. You know that to be
Nobody's 100% fit, but he's right.
Okay.
When players come back, you can't say they need 3 games before they can score again. Haaland comes back, he scores the next game.
When's have you seen the way his scoring has gone? When's the last
Yeah,
time he
it's gone-
scored? Right?
it's
It's
gone
been a while,
bad.
right? It's
It's
been on a
gone
little
bad.
drought,
19
right?
goals.
Of late.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know he's been stuck on 19 for a while now. Nobody
He
said
hit-
anything because it's 19, right?
He
But he has
missed
been- he's
against
had a drought.
Sunderland. He missed 2 chances in the last 2 games.
So,
he
so
should've
you know
scored.
what? The top striker in the league misses chances, and you're telling me Gyökeres is nowhere near him, and he misses chances when he does get them.
I'm
Well, at the
willing.
same
I'm willing
time-
to say. I'm willing
just
to
wanna say
give him more time.
At
Huh?
the same point last season, at this point, Kai Havertz had 9 goals and 3 assists. That's 12 goal involvements. That's more than double. I mean, it's right there, right? I mean, you don't have to. It's right there. It's more than double. Some would say that Kai Havertz isn't even a striker.
Our team is sitting first by 6 points with a striker you guys hate. Tell me something
No,
that's bad
we
about the
don't hate him.
situation right now.
We don't.
When
I-
he starts for us,
not
when he
good enough.
starts for us, we've lost. We don't lose much, right? We don't struggle either, right?
I'm willing to see the benefits, Gary. I'm kind of on your side. I've been debating this with Stan in previous podcasts. I'm kind of on your side, Gary, but I need to be convinced more by goals.
Yeah. No, I hear you on the goals thing. I want more goals from him, but we're
Yes.
not getting it. But I don't. But the, the way you're asking him to score the goals isn't the way we typically do it. You even said it in the show. You said the way we play football, our wings are going to get more opportunities to score
Yeah.
than our center forwards, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see it when Jesus comes onto the pitch. Everybody's like, all right, now we're going to see how he does it. Guess what Jesus does? He falls back into the midfield. Guess who's playing guess who's playing up top? No one. We don't play with a center
wingers-
forward that
wingers
sits up
stand
there
big
at the top of the pitch. It's not how we play. That's why our strikers struggle because they're not used to.
Yeah.
We're used to putting the ball out wide, not through the middle.
Yeah, and this is something
Well,
that
like I said, when entire time Arteta's been there, we haven't had a good striker.
We've had good strikers. We just haven't got them to perform right under the way we play football.
yeah. Listen,
The
I
most
think
you've
it's a
had from a
great. I
striker,
mean,
the most you've had from a striker was 17 for Lacazette.
yeah.
How many
This
shots
is a great.
do you think? How many shots do you think?
20.
Yeah, he's had 40. Well, I guess depending on how you look at it, he's got at least 49. He scored 7. He's had 17 on target.
42
I'd like to know how
chances.
many, but
42
then
shots. He's had 42
Like the
shots.
entire season. Yeah.
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 And he's managed to convert 5 of them. So 42.
How many of those is by his head?
What's he had? 20.
If he's had 42 shots, someone
42.
provided the ball to him to get those shots, right?
Yeah.
The ball take a shot. Someone passed to him, and he's only scored 5 goals. And this is what I think. I just think that you look at someone like Declan Rice into the box. They're going to pass to him. A split second when you see Declan Rice, you know that he can look after the ball. But if you're looking up and you've got Victor, maybe not instinctively, or instinctively, you're going to think to yourself, that guy don't take care of the ball enough. I'm giving it to someone else. I don't think they have meetings about it, but I think in the heat of the moment, that's what's happening. I've given it to this guy on many occasions, and he's not done anything with it.
I think this is probably a good comment from BX. Is a target man ever going to get 20 goals? I mean,
it's really hard to get 20 goals in a season. You guys make it sound like everybody does it. We've had at most, I think, 2 or 3 in a season, and that's when we had Harry Kane and Son in there. That we don't 20 goals a season doesn't happen too often. You guys are looking at Haaland and expecting that to be the norm. It's not. Nobody scores like
I said it at 15. I said
20 is hard to do because it doesn't happen often. You have to be at a Harry Kane level. You have to be at a Salah level.
Mo Salah.
You have to be at a Haaland level. But you don't see it too often, right?
Watkins only got 19.
20 is a hard number to get.
It is. I said it at 15, but I'd like at the end of the season be talking about 15 rather than 10. You know.
I thought the other year Watkins had like 23, and they're all from open play.
Strikers have to score differently this season.
Going back, Ray.
Yeah.
Gyökeres in his professional careers had 32 penalties, made all 32.
Yes. I was not debating his prowess.
I don't know why he's not the penalty kicker. I don't know why he's not.
Well, I don't know who our recognized penalty taker is. You'd like to think
Saka.
Yeah, but if you look you probably look at this season, I don't know if Saka is leading on penalties for us this season. You know, used to be. Odegaard takes 1 or 2. Saka takes most of them. Why can't we accept that Arteta's system is not compatible with a number 9? Yeah, but isn't that like shame on us that we haven't like adapted to his strengths in a way? We've seen the clips, right, Gary? Where Gyökeres is making a run ahead of Odegaard, and there's numerous times he's either going inside or outside. There's one clip where Gyökeres is going inside and outside, and Odegaard refuses both of them to lay it off.
And some people have justified that and said he couldn't make the pass because of the defenders. But I think I think he should have at least tried, because we ended up with nothing at the end of that sequence. The ball went out to Trossard, and then he got closed down very easily, and we got nothing. We didn't even get I know the reason why we don't do that sometimes is it's a risky pass, and it gets turned over, and the next thing you know, they're on a counter.
You're at the edge of the opponent's box. That's not risky, is it?
Well, no. If you look at it, looks like it's close, but it's not that close. Not that close.
It is with when your fullbacks are playing wing backs with a.
I don't know. I think you have a better chance of playing the ball to Victor Gyökeres than Martinelli, for instance. You know,
But why shouldn't he just be laying a through ball? I mean, run into space. I know he's not
well,
the fastest guy in the world, but he's still there,
if I was
ready to
Martin
run into
Odegaard,
empty space.
if I was Martin Odegaard, I'd be like, great, I finally got a striker that I could play a through ball to, and my stats would look good as well in at the end of the season. Jesus has lost his strength. Listen, I think we'll leave. Anything else to add, Gary? I mean, we'll monitor Gyökeres through the season, the second half of the season. Um, I feel there's going to be numerous opportunities for Havertz coming back. I don't know if Havertz will assume the mantle of number 9 this season for the remainder of the season, but we'll see what happens. Only Mikel Arteta can make those decisions. Maybe Andrea Berta can tap his not on his shoulders and say, "Hey,
I don't think he can
Mikel."
do that, can he? I don't think.
They have a relationship.
Yeah, but the relationship, like unless he doesn't have control of how to manage the players, though, right?
No, but he could say, "Hey, give Eze might need a few more minutes."
Hmm.
The reporters do
But
that.
you know, we don't like that when we hear that about other teams, right? When they say, you know what, he has to play, right? Remember that whole thing? You know,
Yeah.
Sterling has to play. That's why he's out there all the time.
Were
What's his
you
name?
not
Who is it we had from Chelsea, and he played every game, and we're like, why is he playing, right?
William?
Yeah, Willian, right? You know, we don't
Yeah.
like that when the contract decides how the player works, or somebody in business decides how to. We don't like that. So
How the
I
hell
mean,
did he have a parents'
Were you,
bonus?
were you not disappointed when Mikel Marino came in again yesterday?
I am because I don't. I think it doesn't help us. So yeah,
He's
I.
terrible in the midfield.
I
Well, no, I
mean,
don't. I don't. I think the reason we bring him on and what we get out of it isn't right. You know, we don't. We it doesn't help us. Like it's to be better defensively, and he doesn't. He's not
it's
helping. He can get
it's
run by. He can get run by just as much as Eza can. Right.
yeah. I mean, that's it. We're 3-2 up, and we're trying to close out a game. He brings on Mikel Marino. You can understand that, but Eze's not going to lose another goal like he did at Aston Villa. I believe that may be the reason why. BX said Arteta doesn't play to the strengths of a star striker, and why haven't we adapted to that yet? You know, one negative point for Mikel Arteta. Rainey's play the magic hard now and get Alonso in. Now we're closing it out. We're closing the game out. Uh, we brought on a little bit of sub for energy. Gary came in and provided some energy in the last 15 minutes of the game.
Crash the ball.
Gary came in with a bottle of piss
Stan,
and a bottle of
Gary's that
put them both
rah-rah
together.
substitute. He comes on and tells everyone
I mean,
that he's been playing for 80 minutes.
Gary's one of those mad scientists that you see you carrying all these beakers full of chemicals and just.
We love you. We love your point of view, Gary. However, however disconnected it might be.
Wow.
However flawed.
That wow.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You said it though.
I'm not.
You said it. I see. Yeah. See.
I'm
See
not.
what I mean? You got these followers of yours. He's drinking the Kool-Aid. Stan, do not drink the Kool-Aid.
I
They're not-
have
they're not-
debated with Stan about
Gary,
Victor
I don't have
Gyökeres.
Gary. I don't have followers. I have disciples.
Okay, so it is okay.
I think Stan made the Gatorade.
No,
No.
listen.
You
Hopefully,
know what? I can say this: we are all happy where we stand in both the Champions League and the Premier League right now.
yeah.
And we played Liverpool on Thursday. We do the business there. You
Yep.
know, I was hoping that we would have done the business against Chelsea to shut everybody up, but you know what? We have another chance to do that. We put a whooping on Liverpool. You know, we played the way we've been playing, get a job done, and we continue on, move on to the next one. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Riddy. Riddy said Ray has finally landed now. This is a good one though from BX. We're in a unique position right now. Just how we can navigate to the end is the question, right? And BX was he was very slack in his mod duties earlier in the podcast. By the time Havertz has given his first penalty, Gyökeres had 5 goals in his first season. He's trying. Okay. Maybe the next marker could be March. You know what I mean? Where we do a Gyökeres check-in. Pickford knows Saka's pounds from England, hence Gyökeres was a better choice. Yeah, but I think both of them would.
It doesn't. It shouldn't matter, right?
Nope.
It shouldn't matter. If
But
you're not good at
England number one.
You should be able to tell somebody where you're gonna go, and it doesn't matter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
As Stan has said, like all of you have little sound bites in my head. Stan has said, you should never expect your goalkeeper to make a save. It's a bonus if he does. You know, Arteta's champion Harvard so much, huh?
Situation.
Yes. Yeah, but listen, it's good to have a spirited conversation. 6 points in the lead. Pep Guardiola's pulling the last follicles of his hair out right now. He probably punching him. Wasn't he scratching himself or something last season?
Yeah, he had all these pits in his head.
I don't wish bad on him, but he can lose a title or two.
I mean, was it today? City lost Guardiola, right? He went out. I don't know if he's going to be out for a while or not. So they're gonna, they might be getting hit with some of that injury bug that we've got hit with. So,
but they're getting a good new player that we played against yesterday.
Yeah, but is he better than Guardiola?
I think so.
You think Guardiola is probably the better defender than
who?
Then Semenyo is better. They're a better attacker, right? Their better attacker is not Semenyo, but their better defender is probably probably Guardiola right now.
Guardiola's pretty good defender. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So I think they're losing more than they're gaining.
Yeah, Semenyo will add to them, but I don't. He might be slightly better than Count Doku, but Gary came in like Martin Keown, and Tony's like Chopper Harris. Bite your legs off. Tony was looking at the far post, but Gary scored in their post.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, just make sure it's there for the rebound, Tony. There you go.
Yeah.
Tapping merchant.
Gary, if Tony sees you at the back post, he's gonna square the ball to you. He's gonna pass it.
You think Tony's gonna do that?
Yeah, Tony would.
I don't want my guy doing that when he can just score, right?
You
know what? If Stan sees me at the far post, he's waving me to go to the corner flag just to get out of his way. just go.
All right. Listen, we'll leave it there, okay?
Gary's telling me just to shoot. Gary's gonna be ready for a rebound.
Oh man,
I miss the spirited podcast with you, Gary.
Yeah.
You haven't. It's been a while. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for staying on for me. I know you were about to go. So.
Well, yeah, we were winding down. I'm always nice to the panelists who come in, and even if it's Alonso, I give him some dirty.
Ray's the kind of manager that likes to give everybody minutes.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Everybody, Stan. Everybody, even those who lay down on the job. You know what I mean?
Tony, get up.
That was some dark times.
Tony, get up.
Yeah. That's what I wasn't.
We're not talking about Tony.
That's what I wasn't there. That's when Ray replaced me with Lawrence.
Talking of Lawrence of Arabia. I gave him minutes as well.
That loan signing that we had. Didn't quite work
we had
out.
to move him on.
So glad that was
yeah.
fucking obligation to buy either.
He didn't fit into our system. He didn't fit into our system. We didn't play to his strengths. All right, listen.
I still love the thing that I like. He hasn't scored it, or something like it was 35 days, and he said it was 7 weeks. I'm like, that's
Good times.
not right. 49, 35,
Um,
do not equal.
all right, Gary, you got a show tomorrow night?
Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow. Probably talking a
Okay.
little bit more about what we just talked about and getting ready for the Liverpool match.
Hopefully, there's a spirited conversation about Victor Gyökeres versus Kai Havertz in that one.
Well, I guess we'll find. Maybe our Arsenal will give us some news about Kai Havertz coming back, and then we'll have
Yeah,
that chat.
yeah. All right. Thanks for being here, Gary. Tony,
Thank you for having me.
thanks for being in.
Yep, yep.
Dan, the man, thanks for joining us. Hope
Thanks, everyone.
you're having a good weekend. All right.
Ray would have been the lone striker if I didn't still up.
It was me and Tony, and then we got some exciting substitutions coming in. Alonso, where are you, Alonso? We got 2 seconds left. All right, Arsenal. Thanks to Declan Rice, 105 million, 3-2 win over Bournemouth. City dropped points. We're out of here. Thanks everybody. We go to Thursday, the next round. Liverpool coming to the Emirates. Let's get some revenge there.